Imagine this. You wake up one morning and everything seems normal. The sun is shining through your window, casting a warm glow across your room. You stretch, feeling the gentle warmth on your skin, and take a deep breath, ready to start your day. You head to the kitchen, where the familiar aroma of freshly brewed coffee greets you. You pour yourself a cup, savoring the rich, comforting taste. As you sip your coffee, you scroll through your social media feed, catching up on the latest updates from friends and family. The house is filled with the sounds of a typical morning, the clinking of dishes, the hum of conversation, and the occasional burst of laughter. Outside, the world is waking up too. People are going about their morning routines, completely unaware of the impending doom. The streets are bustling with activity as commuters make their way to work, children head to school, and shopkeepers prepare to open their stores. It's just another ordinary day, or so it seems. But what you don't realize is that this is humanity's last 8 minutes of blissful ignorance. In just a few moments, everything will change. The news will break. The sun has vanished. Poof, gone. The announcement spreads like wildfire, and the world is thrown into chaos. People stare at their screens in disbelief, their faces reflecting a mix of shock, fear, and confusion. For those first few minutes, life goes on as usual. People continue their activities, unaware of the catastrophe that has just occurred. Children play in the park, their laughter echoing through the air. Commuters rush to catch their trains, and the city hums with its usual energy. But this normalcy is short-lived. Then the sky starts to darken. At first it's subtle, a slight dimming of the light, a change in the color of the sky. But soon it becomes impossible to ignore. The sun, the source of all life on Earth, is gone. Panic sets in as people look up, their faces etched with confusion and fear. Dark clouds roll in, casting an eerie shadow over the world. The reality is this: without the sun, our planet is doomed. The sun is not just a source of light, it's the engine that drives almost every system on Earth. It provides the energy needed for plants to grow, for weather patterns to form, and for life to thrive. Without it, everything falls apart. The temperature begins to drop, and the world is plunged into darkness. It's not just about the light, although that's a big part of it. The sun's energy is crucial for maintaining the delicate balance of our ecosystem. Without it, plants can't photosynthesize, and the food chain collapses. The temperature plummets, and the planet becomes a cold, barren wasteland. People turn on their lights in the middle of the day, but it's a futile effort. The darkness is all-encompassing, and the sense of dread is palpable. The sun is the engine that drives almost every system on Earth. No sun, no life. It's that simple. As the minutes tick by, the reality of the situation sinks in. The world as we know it is coming to an end. The once vibrant landscapes are now barren and lifeless. Plants wither and die, and the air grows cold and still. The sun, the giver of life, is gone, and with it our future. The first thing we'll notice is the temperature drop. As the days go by, the chill in the air becomes more pronounced. People start bundling up in layers of clothing, trying to keep the cold at bay. The once warm and inviting outdoors now feels like a freezer, and the breath of every passerby is visible as a cloud of mist. Within a week, the average global temperature plummets to a bone-chilling -18°C, or 0°F. This drastic drop affects every corner of the globe. Cities that rarely see snow are now blanketed in white, and urban areas struggle to cope with the sudden freeze. Roads become treacherous, and public transportation grinds to a halt as ice and snow take over. To put that in perspective, that's colder than the average temperature of a household freezer. Imagine living in a world where stepping outside feels like walking into a giant freezer. Everyday activities become challenging as the cold seeps into homes and buildings, making it difficult to stay warm even indoors. Oceans and lakes, once teeming with life, begin to freeze over. The vibrant ecosystems that thrived in these waters are now trapped beneath layers of ice. Marine life struggles to survive as their habitats transform into icy prisons. Fishermen find their livelihoods threatened as the waters they once relied on are no longer accessible. And it's not just a thin layer of ice on top, we're talking hundreds of feet of solid ice. The sheer weight and thickness of the ice make it nearly impossible to break through. This massive ice formation alters the landscape, creating new challenges for both humans and wildlife. The once fluid and dynamic bodies of water are now static and unyielding. Forests, once vibrant and green, transform into frozen wastelands. The trees, now covered in frost, stand like silent sentinels in a world turned white. Wildlife that once thrived in these forests must adapt or perish in the new, harsh environment. The sounds of nature are muffled by the snow, creating an eerie silence that blankets the land. The once familiar landscapes of Earth are now alien and hostile. Cities, towns, and countrysides are unrecognizable under the thick layers of ice and snow. The infrastructure we once took for granted is now at risk, as buildings and roads buckle under the weight of the ice. Humanity must find new ways to survive in this frozen world, as the Big Chill reshapes our planet in ways we never imagined. Remember photosynthesis? It's the process by which plants use sunlight to make food. No sun, no photosynthesis. It's as simple as that. Within weeks, plants around the world start to wither and die. First the grasses, then the shrubs, and eventually even the mighty trees. This sets off a chain reaction throughout the entire food chain. Herbivores, with their food source gone, starve to death. Carnivores, with nothing left to hunt, soon follow. The planet, once teeming with life, is rapidly becoming a silent graveyard. Humans are resourceful, but even we have our limits. Sure, some people might try to grow food indoors under artificial lights. Others might huddle around geothermal vents for warmth, creating strange, post-apocalyptic communities. But these are temporary solutions at best. Food supplies will eventually run out. The lack of sunlight means no vitamin D, leading to widespread health problems. The reality is, without the sun, human civilization would collapse in a matter of months. Section 5, Tech to the rescue, sort of. We're a technologically advanced species. Surely we have something up our sleeves, right? Well, maybe. We could tap into geothermal energy for heat and power. Nuclear power plants could keep the lights on for a while. But these solutions are not sustainable in the long run. Energy resources are finite. And without the sun's energy to power our planet, even the most advanced technology can only delay the inevitable for so long. As the years turn into decades, the Earth continues to cool. The oceans, now frozen solid, reflect what little light reaches us from distant stars. The atmosphere itself begins to freeze, with oxygen and nitrogen falling to the ground like snow. The once vibrant blue planet is now a barren, icy wasteland, not so different from Pluto or other distant, frigid worlds in our solar system. Life as we know it is no more. Could we escape this frozen fate by colonizing other planets? Perhaps, but establishing a self-sustaining colony on Mars or elsewhere would be a monumental task. It would require unimaginable resources and technology, and even then, it would only be a viable option for a tiny fraction of humanity. Underground bunkers might offer another, albeit less glamorous option. But again, these would need to be completely self-sufficient, able to produce food, water, and breathable air for generations to come. It's a daunting prospect, to say the least. This thought experiment, while grim, highlights just how important the sun is to our existence. Imagine a world where the sun suddenly vanished. The immediate darkness would be the least of our worries. Within days, temperatures would plummet, and the Earth would become a frozen wasteland. Photosynthesis would cease, leading to the collapse of ecosystems and food chains. The sun is not just a source of light, it is the heartbeat of our planet. It's not just a giant ball of gas in the sky. It's a celestial furnace that has been burning for over 4.6 billion years, providing the energy necessary for life to thrive. The sun's energy drives the water cycle, enabling rain to nourish our crops and fill our rivers. It powers the winds that shape our weather patterns and influences the climate that sustains diverse ecosystems. It's the lifeblood of our planet, the engine that drives our climate, our weather, and ultimately, our very existence. The sun's rays enable plants to perform photosynthesis, producing the oxygen we breathe and the food we eat. Its warmth allows for the diversity of life, from the smallest microorganisms to the largest mammals. The sun's influence extends beyond biology. It shapes our cultures, our traditions, and even our moods. We often take the sun for granted, but without it, life on Earth as we know it wouldn't exist. The sun's presence is a constant in our lives, marking the passage of time and the changing of seasons. It inspires art, music, and literature, symbolizing hope, renewal, and the cycle of life. Yet, in our daily routines, we seldom pause to appreciate this magnificent star that makes everything possible. It's a humbling realization, one that should inspire us to appreciate the delicate balance of our planet and the role we play in protecting it. As we face the challenges of climate change and environmental degradation, remembering the sun's vital role can motivate us to act. By harnessing solar energy, planting trees, and reducing our carbon footprint, we honor the sun's gift and ensure a sustainable future for generations to come. The sun is more than a celestial body. It is a reminder of our interconnectedness with nature and our responsibility to preserve it. The disappearance of the sun is, of course, a hypothetical scenario, but it serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of life on Earth. We live on a tiny blue planet in the vastness of space, dependent on a single star for our survival. It's a reminder that we need to protect our planet, to cherish the resources we have, and to work towards a sustainable future. Because in the grand scheme of things, we are incredibly lucky to be here at all.